In 2 videos time, you will see me in Buenos Aires. I'm moving there to really focus on my writing. But before I get into that, I want to take you on the journey of what brought me to this decision. And I'm hoping it will get you thinking about your own writing aspirations and what you are able to do to really do them justice. The journey begins this time last year. I was planning out my priorities for 2023, and as usual, writing was at the very top. But as a writer on the side of your job, I'm sure you've felt this, where you love writing, you care about it so much, but how do you balance it with the other wants and needs in your life? You need to earn a living. You want to push hard at your job, and maybe writing always seems like it's on the back burner. But the key to a happy life is to spend the majority of your time on the things you care about most. So last year, I did a thought experiment. I asked myself, what would it actually look like if I were to spend most of my time on writing? What steps would I need to take, and are those feasible? Well, the big questions: money. London's expensive. It's a pipe dream if you can't make it work financially. Fine, okay, first major obstacle. Second, I want to progress my career. I see my friends getting ahead. I'm a competitive person. I have career aspirations. I don't want to get left behind. The third point, all my family and friends are here. I don't want to miss them. So those are 3 pretty big obstacles. But I didn't stop there. I took time over weeks and months to work through them, and let me lay out that process for you. Firstly, money, money, money. Sometimes in life the conclusion is actually very simple, but you're not willing at first glance to accept it. The conclusion was, I need to go somewhere cheaper. If I want to maximize the time I spend on my writing, I just can't do it in London. So where would I go? Well, it's a simple question next. Where would I want to go that is within reason? So New York would not be a great option, for example, but there were other spots around the world that I was curious about. So first city that came up was Mexico City. I found lots and lots of articles with tables about breakdown of monthly budgets, weekly budgets. It was actually remarkably accessible, but it was probably too expensive to start with. I was looking at other places in South America. I researched Medellin, but wasn't quite sure it was my vibe, so I moved a few thousand miles further south and took a look at Buenos Aires. The next step was to really drill down and see if it was feasible from a financial point of view. First thing I did, I looked at my savings. So in a past life, I was a lawyer, so I had a decent amount of savings in the bank account. I looked at the monthly cost of living, worked out how long I could live there on a worst case scenario where I had no source of income. The second step was to think about the safety net that I want for emergencies, moving back to the UK, putting a deposit down on a flat. The third thing was to look at potential income sources, and I will put a link in the description to a video from Ali Abdaal where he talks about different ways of earning money remotely. You can do tutoring online, copywriting, web design, things like that. So I've worked out the numbers, and I think I can go away for 21 months and still be in a good position from a financial point of view. The second big obstacle was my career. Now, I work for the government, I really care about what I do, I get to work on interesting areas, but for me it was a question of sequencing. That is always going to be there. It may be postponed for a couple of years, but I can come back to it. Is that the case with a potential opportunity like Buenos Aires and writing? And luckily, my work offered a career break scheme, so I had to go through the approvals process, which took some time, but ultimately it gives you that job security for when you want to return. This depends on your circumstances, but it is always worth having that conversation if writing and travelling the world is something that is really on the top of your bucket list. We're doing well so far. We surmounted 2 obstacles. Now for the final one, family and friends. Again, the answer for me came down to timing. The first question, do I want to really give my writing a go? Yes. Then I need to do that seriously at some point in my life. When is the best time to do it? I just turned 30. I don't have any major attachments. If not now, when? I then thought about mitigating steps to keep up the connection whilst I was away. Could family and friends visit? How often would I consider returning to the UK? What's my routine of calling people or messaging people back home? And by the way, there are new friends that you haven't met yet in different parts of the world. That is an opportunity cost too. If you're in a relationship, have a conversation with your partner. Maybe it's something they would find exciting. You can go together. Certainly that would make it cheaper on the accommodation front. Or you may decide that it doesn't work for your partner. That is your priority in life going forwards, and you will continue to work on your writing in your free time. This is all about exploring what the possibilities are. So many people stop before they've researched what is possible. That was my decision-making process. And that's the reason why on the 1st of February in the evening, departing London Heathrow, I will be flying to Buenos Aires, Argentina. I want to wrap up this video with some thoughts. The video itself hasn't been about the technique of writing, because the most important thing is creating the time. I now have 21 months of career break where I can triple the amount of time I spend every week on my writing, which is my biggest aspiration. The other time, I also have a YouTube channel and I need to do some work to cover my costs. Who knows where this will lead for me? And in the meantime, I get to live in awesome places. I hope this video gives you some inspiration about how you can carve out more time for the things you really love, whether that be writing or anything else. Doing something similar to what I am doing, or an extra couple of hours at the weekend. There are constraints, of course there are, but at the end of the day, this is your life and you can take control. So, see you in Buenos Aires.